There are about 15, 20 GT-Rs behind me right now, and that can only mean one thing. I'm back here in LA at Original Auto. Last time I was here, I drove a Lexus GS 430 with a single turbo 3UZ attached to a 7-speed DCT. They have two very special cars for me to drive that I think should prove to be very drivable here on the street. Competition is alive and well in the GT-R world, of course, but there is a fine balance to hit between street and track performance. Let's go for a drive. So there are two ways to really leave a bad taste in the mouths of purists, okay? Some people are always going to want a manual transmission, and up until about 5 minutes ago, I considered myself one of those people. The guys over at Original Auto, Pablo, Chris, and all of them are trying to convince me that automatics are the way to go, okay? So when it comes to speed, of course, shift times, keeping a car in boost, this is the key. This 1995 R33 GT-R in front of me has an 8-speed, a ZF 8-speed transmission out of, well, they come in a number of different cars. Mark V Supra, I just got out of a Maserati Gran Turismo with the same transmission. And this R32 GT-R is more similar to the GS 430 I drove. It's got a 7-speed DCT out of an F80 M3. Let's drive the 33 first, we'll see how it does, and then we'll jump into 32. First up, R33 GT-R. This one is a 95 model, midnight purple. This is cool. The first thing you'll notice is the gauge cluster here. Actually, this owner's done a veil side gauge cluster. Very cool. Looks pretty much OEM, the interior, everything. But right here, the triple gauges from factory are all digital now, but it's been integrated really nicely. So you've got your turbo gauge on the right side. That's standard, just updated to kind of a digital modern spec. We're in park. Actually, we're in neutral. That's the R32 we're about to drive in a second. It's kind of funny, actually, because this still has a Nismo sticker with the proper H pattern right here. The reason why it's so popular is it gets as close as you can get, as close as I've experienced, to a dual clutch, to the snappiness of a modern dual clutch, but with what should be a smoother engagement off the line when you're forced into stop and go traffic. Not only that, but of course the ability to withstand higher torque compared to an untouched DCT. It loves shifting up. See, they're already 6th gear at 60 kilometers an hour or 45 miles an hour, we're in 8th gear. If you wanted your GT-R to be more fuel efficient, this is the answer. You guys probably can't see the gear, that's second. And it's got a couple of good characteristics in that when I was on the highway earlier on the way here, 8th gear, and I put my foot down, there it went to 5th, counting down, but it can jump from, let's say, 8th to 6th if need be. And then if I flick the shifter to the left, we're in manual mode. It doesn't do a very hard blip, but it definitely blips it a little bit. Oh my. That's where it performs. That's where you're like, oh, now I get it. So smooth, there's no audible crack, there's really no drama at full throttle. Really good spool. I'm impressed with the spool. And the responsiveness gets better just the quicker you drive it. It kind of likes the two opposite ends of rear end doing its thing back there. Oh God, GT-Rs have the best feel. I mean, these cars are world class still 25 years later. But it seems so far to really enjoy the two opposite ends of the spectrum. Low speeds, light to light, leave it in auto, it's really good. It's better than the dual clutch was around town that I drove in the GS 430, without question. And then somewhere in the middle, the shifts, I don't know if you saw there at the beginning, they definitely give you a bit of a kick. Like there, just a little bit. When you go full throttle, that's when the transmission's like, okay, we'll give it everything and we'll engage the shifts as quickly as possible. Straight up almost threw me off the road. The one benefit here, not the one benefit, a huge benefit here is the gears are so close together. So not only are you just immediately back in boost, but you can do that, you could theoretically, with a much bigger turbo, because you guys can see the drop in RPMs is nothing. It's a few hundred RPM. Insane. I'm at low boost right now, 25 pounds. It's still putting out about 670 wheel horsepower. The thing is a monster. 25 pounds of boost. So this car made 830 wheel horsepower on ethanol, of course, at 35 pounds. So I'm just gonna drive it up here in the canyons at about 25 pounds. That should be right around 670 wheel horsepower, which is exactly what this transmission's good for. A dual clutch, the BMW 7-speed, which we're about to experience, you pretty much have to upgrade that out of the box if you want something that can definitely withstand the torque and have a little bit of wiggle room. This ZF can be upgraded as well. But in certain trims from factory, they were rated to handle up to, I believe, about 750 pound-feet of torque. I could be slightly off there, but upshifts are definitely better than downshifts. It likes full throttle better than it does. Oh, there we go. Yeah, low speed partial throttle. It's not as smooth. Like, the tuning isn't quite as good as you would find in a brand new OEM application, but it's close. It's very close. And this one's running a Haltech, so it is running a separate tuning software, a separate tuning setup for the gearbox. I believe that's done by HPR. Zero loss in boost in between gears. I mean, the moment it shifts, you're back in boost. And that is the goal here, is just to mitigate how much loss of boost you have, how much loss of torque you have in between gears. This is as close as you can get to an R35 without buying an R35. If you still want style, you still want substance, I mean, this is it. That is some serious torque. I've already felt a few of these corners. If I had shifted, not even mid-corner, but like there, just coming out of a corner with load on the rear tires, it is so much easier to upset the car with a manual transmission. And this kind of, it mitigates that risk just a little bit. I feel more comfortable pushing this car quickly in the canyons here than I would a manual. That's kind of the point. Oh my. Insert expletive there. All right, we'll let it cool down. Also, I forgot to mention AC, the coldest AC in a Skyline I've ever experienced. So we have everything here. This is the most daily drivable, usable, big power Skyline I've ever driven, hands down. We'll see what the DCT has in store. Both of these cars are very similar in the way they're built. So they both have Garrett G35 dual ball bearing turbos, and they're both 2.6 liter RBs. I drove my friend Charles' OS Geiken 3.1 liter high deck car a couple of months ago, and he had a sequential transmission in that car. And that brings me to the positives and the negatives. In what scenario would these make sense? The whole point, in my perspective, is just to reduce the break-in torque in between shifts. That's what automatics do. And it's just one piece in a larger puzzle to create that effect. So what other components in a big power car like this would do that? Well, E85 helps spool turbos quicker. There's more volume of fuel to help flow the exhaust side of the turbo, and that helps reduce lag. Obviously, Charles' car, 3.1 liters, a larger displacement bottom end, helps to produce that as well. HKS V-Cam helps to make that happen. So all of these things kind of have to come together. That's where it makes sense to me, okay? So another upside to doing either one of these would be to just improve the drivability if you're going to attempt to daily drive your 6, 7, 800 plus wheel horsepower Skyline. Now, a sequential, you guys might be thinking, hey, just throw a sequential in it, call it a day. For track driving, that's what I would do 100% without question. And you can drive them on the street. They're not that bad, but the noise, and it requires a little bit more effort and thought process, a little bit more focus. Whereas these are real cars that you could daily drive without a whole ton of problems. The cons, you no longer have a manual. You're no longer shifting an H pattern. The car has lost, you know, a certain percentage, a little chunk of the JDM flavor. You know, these are iconic cars and it loses a little bit of that classic kind of feel. So yeah, let's drive the 32. Okay, so we've got 8 buttons here. We're gonna hit this one on the left on our screen here, the Max ECU screen. That'll show 1. That means we're in first gear. Super light steering. One of the biggest changes here is that it's drive-by-wire. One of the other biggest changes is this one has been fitted with paddle shifters. So, wow, that is a dual clutch. The R33 has the ability to put paddle shifters inside it. That particular car just hasn't had that installed yet. Okay, seating position's definitely a little bit higher. The view out of the hood is insane. And instantaneously, the blips on the downshift are so much better than the ZHP. The upshifts actually have a very similar feel to them. They're just a lot quicker in the DCT. Both of them aren't so incredibly smooth. You get that kick. It's almost as if it's coming from the rear diff, funny enough, or like right underneath me, underneath the seat. That kick with the transmission. So this car made 650 wheel horsepower at 30 pounds of boost. We're running at about 18 pounds of boost. That's a low boost. 68 millimeter turbo. This is ridiculous. It's so strange. Wow. All right, now it's in auto mode. Drone. And again, just like the 8HP, it goes right up to 7th gear and cruises. The ability to keep both hands on the wheel is one of the greatest benefits of doing a swap like this, especially with paddle shifters. It gives you so much more confidence. The 8HP, I got used to that so much quicker than I did this dual clutch. This is the most alien thing. But I think I know why. These cars, at least the non-GT-Rs, were available with an automatic transmission, a 4-speed automatic transmission, right? And at low speeds, the 8HP kind of felt like that, just like a more refined, more modern version of a lazy old slush box, just bringing the car up to modern spec. So that's where the 8 HP kind of feels right at home. This feels like a very clear aftermarket solution. That's what it feels like. I know the 7-speed DCT, of course, is an OEM transmission from a number of BMWs and other vehicles, but that's what it feels like from a driving perspective. Street car, 8 HP. If you do occasional track days or hard driving, dual clutch. That's the answer. I thought I was gonna have to think about that for a little bit longer. No. The blip downshifts are insane. That's like the biggest change I think here. Puttering around here, making parking lot maneuvers, the ZF is noticeably better. It's noticeably easier to maneuver around, and that's why I say if it's your track car, like once you're going, the DCT provides a connected experience that the ZF does not. Not quite. When you're going full throttle, the ZF really comes into its own. See there, the DCT, some of the shifts aren't as good, but 5,000, 55. Insane. It's more fun with the sequential shifter. It just wants to jump out of its skin. This car is incredible. Yeah, this one doesn't spool till well after 5,000 RPM. So the 33 unquestionably had more top end power, but see me trying to wrestle with the wheel with one hand? Pick your poison. Do you want to feel like you're about to die? Shift here. Do you want to feel like you're driving an R35 with a lot less refinement and a bit of a junkyard feel? Shift with the paddles. And in case you guys missed it, feel over fitment. New apparel is down below, roadsuntraveled.com. The t-shirt is self-explanatory, and I think these cars generally embody exactly that. We've got a couple other designs up there, so yeah, go check it out.
What's going on, y'all? Andy, Gojira Project. Here is my 1993 Nissan Skyline GT-R. I've had the car for about going on 6 years. We fully built it from the ground up, but I did have a manual transmission in mind, but I ended up switching to a DCT.
So why?
I wanted a transmission that can hold high horsepower as well as have that drivability every day. It's easy to get parts as far as the cost. So if something breaks on the DCT, you can go ahead and just drop another DCT in. And if you want to make higher horsepower, you can actually upgrade the clutch packs so it can handle more foot-pounds of torque. But as long as you stay under 600, they're pretty much bulletproof.
Do you daily this car? No, or do
no,
you
I don't daily it. I mean, I drive it on, you know, when I do have free time. I don't really put that many miles, but when I do want to drive the car, I do drive it hard.
What's running it, ECU-wise?
We're running a max ECU.
And that controls everything. Pablo was kind of telling me earlier, but that controls both the DCT and the engine.
Yes, that's correct. And then there's also other options as far as TCUs you can go with, CAN TCU and ACE-TG. We're actually running a Pulsar in this car, which is a little bit different. A lot of guys like to put Garrett's, but they're pretty bulletproof as long as you keep boost at a good number. We're running a Plasma Man Plenum. Right now it's running 1300cc injectors, and paint up the engine bay. It took a lot of time.
Now, does this require like an auxiliary or an external oil cooler for the trans?
Yes, that is, yeah, I'll actually show you where it's at. It's actually mounted right here next to my oil cooler.
Gotcha.
But yeah, to cool the trans, we got a cooler right here as far as cooling, and then as far as oil cooler as well. And I actually found this car on Craigslist 6 years ago. It was actually in a parking lot, just growing weeds from below, and I bought it without even looking at it, wired the check, boom, and actually had twins on it at first, had a HKS twin turbo kit.
Nice.
And then the car went in stages. We went 400, 450, 550.
Did you pull the weeds out before you got to 500?
Yeah, I pulled the weeds out. And then I'm like, hey, you know, and then the mods start coming, ECU, injectors.
Of course.
And just building the car and enjoying it with the manual. I do love manual cars, but the DCT is one of those modern mods to do. And it's crazy to think about that you can actually throw a DCT into 8 HP.
Yeah.
We're gonna push maybe another 100 horsepower and just call it a day. Because the car is fun already at 650.
That's what they all say, call it a day.
Call it a day.
We're gonna stop at 400, 500.
Yeah, but we're gonna send it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And then, you know, just little things, cleaning it up, and we'll go from there.
Awesome. Well, hey, thanks, Andy. Thanks for your time.
I appreciate it.
Company in Norway, it builds these kits to swap these transmissions, both of these, into RB chassis. HPR is what they're called. I'm hoping to meet them at SEMA. Effectively, they sell the entire kit, and then Pablo and Chris and all the guys over at Original Auto swap them in to these cars. A lot of these guys, it's just a matter of drivability. In a city like Los Angeles, light to light, you want to be able to use a car, and you don't want to hesitate before you go out to drive like, oh, if traffic hits, my 6-puck unsprung clutch is really gonna put some wear and tear, premature wear and tear on my legs. I'm already getting old. I don't need my knees to hurt more than they already do. That's really what this is. This is a hedge against back pain in your later years. Knee pain, all the kinds of pain, not back pain. My heart says DCT, my brain says ZF. Do you get what I'm saying? We made it back in one piece. That is a long day. The R33 here just blew me away in every way imaginable. And yes, that is an R31 Nissan Skyline that's getting an RB26. This car was tuned 2 days ago, if not last night, I believe they said. So thank you guys so much for watching. It was a long day. And a lot of work goes into these videos. You guys know that. I can't even talk anymore. I haven't eaten basically anything all day. Here's the thing. So if you guys like the video, obviously liking the video helps out. So if this video gets 2,000 likes, I will manual swap my Skyline. And maybe you didn't even know that I owned a Nissan Skyline. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably have seen it in passing. But that's a hint of what's to come on the horizon. And for Original Auto, they have something coming for these cars that they weren't ready to show you on camera yet, but I got to see it behind the scenes. So there's a bit of an embargo on this information, this visual spectacle that I've seen that will add just another layer to what you can do to these GT-Rs, R32, 33, and 34s, and it has to do with the transmission. There are so many ways to experience these cars. So anyways, I'm rambling. You guys know what it is. Subscribe if you haven't already. Go check out Original Auto, Andy. All the links are in the description. Southern California. I've got to enjoy the time while it lasts, while I'm here. See you guys soon.